Hello everyone. Today I'm going to read my favorite chapter from Devdutt Pattanaik Sita, an illustrated retelling of the Ramayana. It is one of the last chapters, and this chapter is on Lakshman when Lakshman conveys Ram's decision to Sita and lifts her to the forest. So it's one of the most well written and emotional chapter. And what I particularly liked about is that it does not portray Sita as someone who is helpless or victim. Rather, it tries to portray her in a much as a more empowered woman. Unlike many popular narratives where Sita is seen as a victim of this whole episode, maybe she is, but maybe not as much as it's generally portrayed. Starting the chapter now, Lakshman conveys Ram's decision. Lakshman was silent as the chariot rode into the forest. This was a different route, a narrow route, not the great royal highway that cut through Kosla's rich farms and orchards. She would not see Kuha. There would be no rivers to cross, just a desolate mountain pass. Never seen this part of the forest before, she said. It was rocky and barren. A lizard ran before the chariot. Sita chuckled. Lakshman remained unmoved. The chariot finally stopped. Sita alighted, eager to walk among the trees. Lakshman remained seated. Sensing he had something to say, Sita paused. Lakshman finally spoke, eyes to the ground, as always. Your husband, my elder brother, Ram, king of Ayodhya, wants you to know that the streets are full of gossips. Your reputation is in question. The rules are clear on this. A king's wife should be above all doubt. The scion of the Raghu clan has therefore ordered you to stay away from his person, his palace, and his city. You are free to go wherever else you please, but you may not reveal to anyone you are once Ram's queen. Sita watched Lakshman's nostrils flare. She felt his embarrassment and his rage. She wanted to reach out and reassure him, but she restrained herself. You feel Ram has abandoned his Sita, don't you? She asked gently. But he has not. He cannot. He is God. He abandons no one. And I am goddess. I cannot be abandoned by anyone. Unquote. This is the dialogue that probably moves me the most. He is God, he abandons no one. And I am goddess, I cannot be abandoned by anyone. I don't understand your strange words. Ram is dependable, hence God, and independent, hence goddess. He needs to follow his duty, follow rules, and safeguard reputation. I am under no such obligation. I am free to do as I please. Love him when he brings me home. Love him when he goes to the forest. Love him when I am separated from him. Love him when I am rescued by him. Love him when he clings to me. Love him even when he lets me go. But you are innocent, said Lakshman, tears streaming down his face. And if I was not? Would it then be socially appropriate and legally justified for a husband to throw his woman out of his house? A jungle is preferable to such an intolerant society. The words of Sita were like a slap in Lakshman's face. Ram was not like Janmadagni who beheaded his Renuka. Ram was not like Gautama who cursed his Ahilya. Ram accepted even the soil berries of Sabri with love. You were not even given the dignity of being told. You were tricked into leaving the palace, said Lakshman. You judge him, Lakshman, but I love him. You see your brother as an ideal and are angry because he has not lived up to your expectations. I see my husband for what he is and understand his motivations at every moment. At every moment he strives to be what he thinks is best. I will not burden him with my expectations. This is how I make him feel loved. And he sees me, knows that I'll support him no matter what. Even when he resorts to such a devious route like an errant child, Sita said with a smile, go back home. Observe Ram well. Know that the man who calls himself the husband of Sita will never remarry. Of the king of Ayodhya, I do not know. This is not right. I can't stand this nobility, shouted Lakshman. Imagine what would have happened if Ram had refused to obey his father. Imagine what would happen if Ram refused to banish his wife. People forever pass snide remarks about him, even if his actions would be justified. It is not about being right, it is about being a king who is above all doubt. To be such a king, he needs our support. What will you do now? Where will you go? I was told to leave you near the hermitage of sages so that you will find refuge, said Lakshman. Sita looked at his brother-in-law. Older than her, taller than her, battle-scarred and weary, looking down at the ground, looking like a child consumed by shame. With a smile, she said, I know the forest well, Lakshman. I remember more years here than in the palace. Do not worry about me. I'm not happy with the situation, but I accept it and will make the most of it. Thus, I submit to karma without letting go of dharma. A mystified Lakshman returned to Ayodhya. Sita stayed back in the forest, smiled, and unbound her hair. For when the farmer abandons the field is finally free to return to being a forest. Very beautiful chapter, well written, and I sometimes wonder that if Ram actually had that much trust in Sita's capabilities to that she will easily survive the jungle, the forest, or was it he punishing her again, or was it actually trying to punish the society, the people of the Ayodhya, the people of his kingdom, and telling through his act that what rumors can actually lead to. When BJP, lost his seat in Ayodhya in 2024, there were many people who were actually saying this about Ayodhya, that people of Ayodhya had once again betrayed. I don't know, in this context it might be not right, because in democracy there's no king. But no doubt this chapter sends a very powerful message that even rumors and gossips, there's a price to pay. And society and people who engage too much in gossips and rumors, and they feel that it is actually harmless, they don't truly know the harm that it causes. And maligning the name of a person, a character of someone, just for fun, can actually cause a lot of harm. This is kind of bullying, and in many cases this actually leads to people committing suicide. So it's not just as harmless as many people think, and therefore we have to be very careful with our gossips. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's all fun, but the intent of the gossip and the damages it causes, we have to be very careful with that. So more than a punishment to Sita, it was rather a punishment to the people of Ayodhya. And I in no way justify Ram's act. When I was having this, I was discussing this with my wife once, and that what instead could Ram have done? I think we both thought that it would have been better if both Ram and Sita had left the kingdom, so that Ram would have been true to his partner, and the dharma of pati and dharma of being a spouse, he would have fulfilled that as well. And the people of Ayodhya would have got their lesson, and he could have just assigned someone else to look after the kingdom. But anyway, 1,000 years down the line, in the society that we live in, with the values we have built around us, and it is far easier to say and to judge people by our standards. But modern standards or current standards don't necessarily apply to those times, thousands of years back. I'll say we are not in the right position to judge those acts. We can of course have our own opinions, but we cannot pass a concrete judgment on the actions of Ram. Let me know what you think about this chapter, and what are your opinions, whether you agree with Ram's decision. Was there any alternative left to him, and was he cruel to abandon Sita like that, or that he had such a blind trust in her that she would keep his word and she will do just fine in the forest, even if living all alone. Again, I'm not trying to justify Ram's action. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. I'm looking forward to know what your opinion on this topic. Thank you.